and I'm here to do my final update on the Argireline. So I've been using this for 4 months around my eyes morning and evening, and show you how much is left. It's up to there. So I reckon this will last probably 6 months, which is pretty good for, you know, a product that's less than a tenner, I believe. I can't remember the exact price of it. I did an update at 1 month and there was no difference. I'm trying it for crow's feet, by the way. Crow's feet around here, and I'm also using it a little bit in here and along my brow to see if I could stop the micro expressions that go on there and perhaps stop there being such a pull of my eyebrows in, making my eyes more wrinkly. But I didn't expect to see a big difference in that. After 1 month of using this morning and evening, just around my eye socket there and in the middle, I saw no difference whatsoever. At the 2 month stage, I came and showed you photos because I felt like there was some improvement in my crow's feet here. On both sides, actually, I felt like one of the lines here was ever so slightly shorter, and I think the same on this side. I can't remember exact details, but definitely I showed photos and there was a little bit of improvement. I don't think I did the 3 month update because there wasn't much of a difference. I had a look at the photos and I know that I stopped using it for a few days in that time period when I had very, very dry skin. I did find that sometimes this dried out around my eye area just a little bit. So I didn't do a 3 month update. So this was really interesting for me to look at the 4 month results. So I took the photos last night and compared them with the photos at 2 months and also with the 1 month photos. One of the reasons I was so interested in seeing these photos was because although there looked like there was a difference from 0.0 to 2 months, I know that photography is so variable, and you know, it can depend on the lighting, the angle of your face, the moisturizers you've used, all of that kind of thing. And whilst I've tried to reproduce it in exactly the same manner, there's no way of doing it exactly the same. So for example, unless I had like a chin rest here that was at an exact height and I used the exact same level of lighting, which I've tried to do it on the lowest one and the exact same camera settings and the same moisturizer that I used in that last photo, whether I was the same amount of tired. I know that there's a lot of things that can affect photos. Whether I had self-tan on or not can affect it, because even though I wouldn't have any makeup on my face, the self-tan can definitely create different shadows and give a different look. And so I wanted to see if there was a genuine improvement in my crow's feet, or whether it was just the photographs were showing me one thing and the reality was something different. I'm not sure how I'm going to put the photos in this video, because what I can tell you is I can't see any difference really between the photos now and 2 months. In fact, it was extra interesting to me because the last month I feel like I've noticed my crow's feet more when looking in the mirror. You know, and not just looking in the mirror, when I've taken photos for videos or when I'm editing a video, I feel like, wow, I've got really bad crow's feet now. And so every time I thought that, I thought I can't wait to see the photos and see if that's just my perception, but let me see what, I was going to say the evidence, but I've explained that it's even, you can't even rely on photos 100%, but it still was interesting to me to see. Now, they've certainly not got worse, so that is definitely my perception. I would say that overall, if I combine all of the photos that I take, because I take a lot of photos, and obviously I'm not going to put every single photo in, but I take a lot of photos trying to move my head slightly different angles so that I can really get a feel for the differences before and after. And overall, it looks like it is ever so slightly improved, like maybe a 5 to 10% improvement at the 4 month stage from what it looked like at before I even started using Argireline. And in fact, there is one photo where it looks worse now than it did before I started using Argireline. Another thing that I thought about may have some impact on the results is I had my last Botox in at the beginning of November 2016, and Botox is thought to last anywhere between 3 to 6 months. So that's November, December, January, February, March, April. I started using this in March, would that be right? March, April, May, June, yeah. March. So when I started using it, my Botox, there could have still been some Botox in my face, in my crow's feet, because I always had it crow's feet, glabella, and the top of my eyebrows. So it could be, that could be a good thing, because what that could mean, there's absolutely no Botox in my system now, for sure, because it's more than 6 months has gone past. There will be no more Botox left in my system, although that will have had a cumulative effect in weakening the muscles. So for example, I can't pull my eyebrows in and make as much of a crease as I could 5 years ago, because I have constantly had Botox, and therefore it has weakened the muscles. But there's nothing else affecting it other than my natural movement at the moment. But when I started in March, there could have been some left. That would be a good thing, because it would mean that even if the photos now and at point 0 looked exactly the same, it would mean that without any Botox, it hasn't got worse. I don't know whether that will make sense to you. And these are all just suppositions, because I don't know that in March, which was November, December, January, February, April, apparently I don't know my months, November, December, January, February, March, that was 5 months. And so it's unlikely that there was any Botox left. But I just want to give you all of the information so that you can make, you know, come to your own conclusion. And honestly, I wish I could be a bit more definitive with this. I wish I was saying to you, yes, I believe it 100% works. But like I said, from my final conclusion, if you like, is there has been a very, very slight improvement in my crow's feet looking at photos. But looking in the mirror, I feel like they look worse. Some of the photos would suggest that they look no different. There is no difference from 2 months to 4 months. There was just a slight difference then. I think if you're going to use it, you need to use it definitely twice a day. And this is the strongest one you can buy, the Argireline solution. This is a 10% by The Ordinary. Even though the Westerwood, is it called? Westerwood one says it's 30%, it's not 30% Argireline. I think that's really important to remember. That is a completely different solution. That's mostly hyaluronic acid. It's a 30% Argireline solution NP, which is a mix, and it's less than 3% Argireline, I believe. I looked into it at the time. So this is definitely the one to buy if you're interested. I won't be repurchasing this, because I'm somebody that I need to see a dramatic result in order for me to put in the effort of putting something separate. I've never used eye cream, but putting something separate around my eyes, tapping it in twice a day. I would need to see a bigger result over 4 months than what I'm seeing with this. And that's probably why I like Botox, because Botox, you see an instant result. So I don't know what I might try next for my crow's feet, because I am now using Differin on my face, which is a retinoid, and you can put it up to your eyes. Different people tolerate retinoids around their eyes in different ways. I put it around about up to there last night, and this morning my eyes were watering, and I knew instantly that's what it was from. It seems to be all right now. I've got my makeup on, and I've put, you remember, I've got that little eye drops that I use when my eyes water that seems to just stop it immediately. Opticron they're called. I've done a whole video about that, because I have had problems, serious problems with watery eyes. I haven't now had since having those eye drops. So I don't know. I'll see how my skin reacts to the Differin that I'm using, and see if it dries out my eye area too much, and I might not be able to tolerate it. If I saw a deal, like a Groupon deal or anything like that for Botox, I would definitely be tempted. I don't go to Dr. Bong simply because it's too far away. It was an hour and a bit's drive each way, and that was really making my neck sore, which was then giving me headaches. So the only thing that makes me want to go again is there's a Kiko on the way. There's a Kiko in an industrial estate in Glasgow that I could go to. We don't have one here, but yeah, that's the only reason I'm not going to Dr. Bong. And there's a couple of other things with the type of Botox that I was particularly getting a bit fussy about, and also it's trying to find somebody that can do what I want them to do, i.e. a brow lift without depressing my brow. But I feel like now, if you watched my video on where to get the injections, I feel like I know what I'd be asking for more. I feel like I could communicate better exactly what I wanted to achieve. But the thing I would say with the crow's feet, I had the crow's feet done. I know that we're not talking about Argireline. I've kind of gone off on a tangent and talking about Botox, but I'm sure if you're interested in getting rid of crow's feet, there are some of you will be interested in Botox, and I'm not encouraging anybody to do this. I'm just giving you the information. I would have the Botox primarily to hold my eyebrows here so that I couldn't pull them in like this, so that my eyebrows, my eyelids weren't crinkling. And I would have the crow's feet just because I was there, not because I didn't love the result. I liked it, but it will only take away crow's feet from here out. And I've got a lot of wrinkles here, like it maybe not even halfway along your eye, like from here, they can only go a certain amount in. And so it would only take away the very small amount of crow's feet I've got here. Most of mine are sort of here, and it wouldn't take that away. But I'm just saying, I would definitely be tempted if I saw any deals for Botox and it was somebody I hadn't been to, and was, you know, the other thing is I need somewhere where I can park and somewhere that's easy to get to and has the right appointment times. And I think I've seen everybody there is to see in this area for Botox. So yeah, I don't know what my plan of action is for crow's feet. Like I said, I'm going to use my Differin because I'm using that on my neck and on my face, and I'm using it near the eye area. So it may be that I see the results, you know, use that as my anti-aging, anti-crow's feet solution, but I wouldn't expect to see a difference in that area 6 months to a year. So I'll come back to you guys and tell you what I've decided to do with my crow's feet. I might even do a little bit of research and maybe do a video for you guys on just crow's feet and what the different ideas are for what you can use, you know, whether it's retinoid or Argireline or peptides or Botox, and maybe just go through each one. That might be a nice video to do. See what other people are suggesting and what other people have used and found to work, and yeah, that might be a good video to do, and that would be interesting for me to find out what perhaps else there is out there for crow's feet. But I'll definitely get back to you and let you know what's going on. I'm really into my skincare, as you guys know. Just to answer a question, I will definitely be reviewing the Ordinary sunscreens that come out in July at some point. Yes, definitely interested in those, really, really curious about those, so I will be reviewing them, and probably anything else they come out with that's new. I think I might have covered everything in the Ordinary skincare insofar as there's some things that are ongoing, you know, that I'm still testing. I'm testing the Matrixyl and the niacin. And I know that I need to do skincare routines, and I have got one already written down for dry skin. I do need to do a routine video for you guys. I'm not sure if that would still be useful or whether people are sort of moving away from the Ordinary skincare. I also had a request to do some reviews of the Niod, I don't know how you say it, skincare, but it's a bit too expensive for me. So I'm not sure I'll be going down that route, to be honest. So that's everything. Let me know what you think. Let me know if you've had any results. That'll be really useful for everybody if you let us know if you have seen any results yourself in using this Argireline in any other area than crow's feet. And yeah, I think that's everything. Thank you so much for watching, and I will list everything. No, I won't list everything. I'll tell you now because otherwise I'll forget. I have got on Tarte Rainforest Sea Foundation in Fair Neutral. Morphe palette 25A on my eyes. I'm getting a good use out of those palettes, aren't I? Using them quite a lot. On my cheeks I've got, now I only know that it's a blush that Nisha sent me. It's a MAC one. Is it Petal Power? Petal Power I think it's called. Then on my lips I've got a Knit Plus Fab liquid lipstick, but over the top I added some of that Petal Power blush just to give it a little bit of a sheen, and then I just put some lip balm on, so it's a bit of a mishmash. And this is a lovely coral super dry top. It's actually quite cold here today. So that's everything. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll speak to you soon.